Welcome to another episode of The Consult. I am your host, Lauren Powers, and I'm excited to have a fantastic and quite handsome doctor in our studio. We have Dr. Grant Tesmer, who is a top cosmetic dentist in Charlotte.
Hello, hello.
How are you today?
Good. I'm doing okay. How are you?
I am doing great. And we're chatting with you today all about smile makeovers, right?
Yes.
So that's what in Ballantyne Dentistry you're the smile makeover guy.
Yes, I would say so. Yes. I think over the past, couple years, I've found myself into that niche of cosmetic dentistry, and what exactly is cosmetic dentistry is a big question that a lot of patients ask, and it ranges. I mean, it can be from the notorious smile makeover. It can be from a porcelain veneer. It can be from a simple teeth whitening session that increases the shade of the teeth. But I would say over the past couple of years, it's been something that I really truly have a very deep passion for.
Yeah.
Because currently, cosmetic dentistry is not actually a specific residency or a specialty. So there is actually no real school that you are accredited or certified, like an educational-based program with. Sure. So it is kind of a the amount of cases you do, it's the CE courses that you take, and it's the people you learn from over the shoulder that really kind of solidifies, or at least gives you the opportunity to treat cosmetic-based patients. And I think I truly have a passion for it, yes.
And so within a cosmetic dentistry and smile makeovers, veneers are increasingly popular, especially with reality shows and social media. We're used to seeing this bright white, straight, flat, huge teeth all over the top. We're used to seeing this bright smile. Is that what patients are wanting? Is that your style?
Let me start out with this. I think beauty is subjective, meaning what I might think professionally might not be the best fit or image for you. So yes, you do see a lot of social media influencers or on YouTube or on TV with the pearly white chiclets, right?
Sure.
That's kind of what some patients want. And it is my job to give you that if that's truly what is best for you. But in my opinion, I think the best looking veneers are ones that you actually can't tell.
Natural.
Right. You want to have that natural translucency or the light that goes through. You want to have some characteristics that embody the natural tooth. But of course, you do get opposite sides of the spectrum when it comes to the patient base of what they like. But yes, we do have all walks of life that come through that do want that kind of bright white Hollywood smile, but a lot of them don't. Okay, and that does come into, I guess it's the demographic. It's the older patient, or it's even the younger patient who hasn't really smiled a whole lot, but they also don't want to just completely change their smile where it doesn't fit on their face, if that makes sense. So we had a patient who come in, and she was in veterinary school, and she had just come in for her last post-op, and she had all of her family members tell her, there's something about you that's really changed, but I really can't, I don't know what it is, right? I mean, it wasn't that something was completely different physically or something, but it was the thing that she came into me and she said, Dr. Tesmer, I'm really happy I chose your office and you to fix it, because you were able to nitpick and to detail my old teeth into my new teeth. So it wasn't a drastic change where people said, yeah, I can tell that those are veneers, or I can tell that those aren't your real teeth. So it's my job to obviously give you what options are all out there for you. In the end result, it is your decision on what type of tooth and what color you like.
Absolutely.
But the more natural, the better.
So since you're talking about options, right, for the smile that people want, talk to us about your process. Right?
Sure.
I know at Ballantyne Dentistry, they go to you, right, for the veneers and the cosmetic stuff in the practice. What is the process like for you? How do you start?
Right. So we have a lot of patients that come through, and it starts with a phone call. They just call us to say, hey, when can we meet, or when can we come in? And that's what the first appointment is. It's a consult, right? And to be the best cosmetic dentist out there, that first consult is a listening appointment. Okay, I have to just listen to you. I have to figure out what is the true reason why you want these veneers, these crowns, this smile makeover. What is it, right? Because that truly is how I'm going to base the treatment. Right. So at that consult, we do take a couple photos. We might take a couple x-rays here and there, but the majority of it is to develop the trust, right? Because I think a lot of times people go to dentistry, they go to their physicians, and they want to know who they're going to, and they don't just say yes right off the bat with actually having a conversation with them. So that consult's super important. There's no treatment done that day. It's basically us taking down notes, taking a few pictures to really see which options are available to you. And then from there, we get you in and we actually start the process. So the consult comes first. The second big appointment is kind of the prep day, right? So that's actually the one appointment that people like because it allows them to actually wear a set of temporary, not their finals, but a set of temporary teeth, whether it be veneers or crowns, and it allows them to test drive your smile. You tell me what medical or dental device allows you to actually wear it before you say yes to it.
So they get to kind of walk around, maybe smile. What that is.
Yes.
That's too cool.
Yes. So that's one of the big appointments for the patient, but also for us, because you get to test drive it. You get to nitpick. You get to choose, do I like the color of them? Did he really tell me that I was going to round out the edges, or is this something that it's a little bit of a feminine, a youthful smile? Is it really what I want? Because at that appointment, once you leave, yes, you get to eat with them, you get to drink with them, you get to enjoy, you get to go out with them, and then you come back in and we talk about, okay, what are your thoughts?
The tweaks.
Yes, exactly. And then after that's all kind of figured out, they then come in for the third appointment, which is the delivery day. So that's kind of that's the transformational, right? That's where we get to take the temporaries off, we discard those are gone, and then we actually get to deliver the final veneer, smile makeover, whatever it is, truly, and it actually bonds to the tooth, right? So these veneers, these crowns are actually permanently cemented to the tooth. So it's almost kind of like a press-on nail, for an example, right? So you put a nail and you have the cement or the adhesive and it goes on the finger and it stays, right?
On top of the nail.
Yeah, exactly. You can't actually rip those off. Same thing with veneers, okay? So those are permanently bonded on the teeth and they function, they look just like teeth. You still got to brush, you still got to floss, because at the end of the day, they're your natural teeth.
Your teeth are still in there.
They are. They're not like dental implants where it's a tooth replacement option. We're actually physically working on natural teeth. So you have to treat them like your natural teeth. So that's kind of one of the big appointments is the before and after. We get to show the mirror and the tears and things in that sort. We always bring in the assistants because they always like to see it. Everyone in the office, whenever like a delivery appointments started, a lot of the assistants or the hygienists or whoever it is kind of rush in at the end. It's a little bit overwhelming for the patient because they're like,
I'm sure,
what are all these people doing in here? But
celebrating you.
To be honest with you, it's awesome. I think that is the biggest and the most important and the most gratifying appointment out of all of them, is when they get to actually see the real thing and then they get to wear them and then they're walking out of the office and we'll see them back for a couple post-ops, but that's about it.
So there's also, I've seen a trend in these snap-in veneers or people going to the mall, one of the booths in the mall where they get I don't know what you would call it, or something that goes over their teeth. It's not a dentist and it's not in a dental practice. What is that? Why is it trending that way? Like, have you heard more about the snap-in teeth and all that?
Yes.
That's damaging for your teeth, isn't it? Correct.
And unfortunately, I'm glad you brought that up because a lot of times people nowadays they're on their phone. Right? They're more on their phone than they are on their computer, and they see an ad that pops up, and they say, do-it-yourself veneers or snap-in veneers, like you were talking. Exactly. Professionally, that is an absolute no. Okay. For multitude of reasons. I think a lot of companies, especially in orthodontics, are trying to incorporate that into the industry, and I really don't think they're putting the patient first. So personally, I would not ever do that from a dentist perspective, just because you do not know who's making your veneers. You probably won't ever actually meet these people.
And the materials aren't even the same.
Exactly. So, and like we were saying before, this is still your tooth. Okay. This is not some false tooth. This is not someone else's tooth. This is yours. That's in your bone for the lifelong. So you have to figure out, why would I even do that? So my personal opinion is no, I would not do it. You got to go into an actual cosmetic dentist, just because they know what they're doing. Technology has changed, and I think they're going to have your best interests, especially when it's a big deal. A lot of people come in to get veneers or to get their teeth done for very important reasons. And I don't know why someone would want to go in and try to,
shortcut it.
Yes, on that part of it. So my opinion is it's a no.
It's a no to the snap-ins, okay, out there.
Yes,
so let me ask you this question. I talk to a lot of docs, and oftentimes they'll say there was a patient or a moment or something that changed things for them.
Yes.
Or changed the course of their career for the better.
Yes.
Do you have a patient that sticks out to you, or a moment where you were like, you know what, I'm doing the right thing?
Yes. One of them comes to mind. It was about a mid-80s year old man, and he had come in and he had extreme wear on your teeth. So as you do age and life takes over and certain priorities take precedence over your teeth, you sometimes lose the overall function of them, right? You start to grind your teeth. You lose the height of them. You start to get some crowding and things of that sort. That's just what happens when life gets tough. You sometimes forget about certain things and you put others before.
Sure.
So when he came in with his daughter, and his daughter had drove him. His name is John. And he came in, and his daughter came in and he goes, hey, we've been looking for the cosmetic guy. We really want him to get his teeth done. And we talked about it. We did the consult. We figured out what's possible. We showed him, and he wheeled in, and man, he sat in the chair, and he kind of looks at me and he goes, all right, am I going to be your guy, or are you going to be my guy? And I said, well, that's your choice, but I'd love to take care of you. And he goes, well, Dr. Tesmer, I sold my car.
Oh.
And I think I think with that is when there's always things in life that you will never forget. Okay, and I think that was one in the chair. I remember looking at the assistant, and I was like, wait, you sold your car for your teeth? And he goes, yes. He goes, so you better do a good job. And so
no pressure.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, okay, John. I was like, okay. So anyways, so he chose us, and at the end of the day, we gave him a full smile makeover on his top teeth, and we did a couple on the bottom. And I remember at the end, we did the transformational appointment. Everyone came in. He started to cry, and of course, I'm not much of an emotional guy, but sure enough, when you have him crying,
waterworks.
If you don't cry, it's something's wrong. Like, you have to cry when he cries. And then he kind of gave me a hug, and he looked at me and he goes, I knew I chose the right guy.
Oh, wow.
And I think at that point too, it's just, I guess you realize there's way more that goes into people choosing to fix their teeth than you think. And that's why that specific case, I was like, that's it. Cosmetic dentistry. It's the gratification. It's the life-changing part of it. In his case, to me, was something I'll never forget.
What a great story.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that was your moment, because now, you have so many patients that you've transformed over these years. And I want to say thank you for your time today, Dr. Tesmer, and sharing your expertise with us. And also, if you're in the Charlotte area, or it doesn't even matter, because I travel for a good dentist. Guys, Ballantyne Dentistry, Dr. Grant Tesmer, top cosmetic dentist in Charlotte. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.